What up, YouTube? Belton here. I was gonna have a nice little gamble video for you guys, but my computer's trashed. Streamlabs is a terrible program, and I am a complete luddite. So unfortunately, while I was recording, for some reason Twitch crashed, and Streamlabs didn't record the thing. But we're gonna give you the little quick TLDR here because this is a very profitable method from what I've seen so far. I'll lay out the numbers for you, but I did make about a little bit over half a mirror. 340 divines in profit in under an hour of doing this. It's going to be some variability here, but I will discuss that with you guys. So what we're doing is assembling the Adorned. That is the new outcome that comes from assembling the pieces that drop from Vol map bosses. So it would be the Curious, the Ambition, Cooperation, and Beauty. When we're looking at prices here, get myself out of the way. Curiosity is about 2.7 div. Ambition is 2.2, 2.3, so 5 divs there. Look at about 1 div there. You can actually get these in chaos for, I believe, half a div. Yeah, half a div. So 5.5. Yeah, five and a half divs basically per set. So what you're going to get as an outcome from that set is one of these jewels, the Adorned. There is a massive range on these, from 50% to 150%. There are certain thresholds or breakpoints that you would want to hit on these, 150% being a very big one, because if you look at the jewel, increase effect of jewel socket passive skills containing corrupted magic jewels. That being, if you have a magic abyssal jewel or regular jewel in any one of your jewel sockets, including cluster jewels now, it will take the mods that are on there and it will make them 150% increased, or it will give them a 2.5 multiplier. The reason why 150% is an important breakpoint is because if you have, let's say, 8% ES on a cobalt jewel, if you have 150% increased, that 8% ES would go to 20% ES. However, if you have 1.49, or sorry, 149% increased, PoE doesn't deal in half numbers; it always rounds down, and so that would be, in that case, you'd be losing, a multiple points of percentage. A more acute example of that would actually probably be something like 2% RMR as a corrupted mod. If you get that, if you have 150%, it would go to 5% RMR. But if you did not, you would only get 4% RMR. And so you're obviously in that scenario, 5% to 4% is a 20% loss of RMR. And so getting the 150% ones is obviously a big deal. Now, as you can see, the range is again 50 to 150, which means there are 101 options. Looking at this from a profit lens, it's a good idea to kind of break them down into kind of like boxes of 10, right? So, 50 to 60, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, 80 to 90, 90 to 100, etc., etc. The break even, right? So, with each set costing 5.5 divines each, what you would have to hit in terms of your outcome to at least get your money back is approximately about 110 to 115%. These ones right here are in the, about a 5 divine range. So in the high teens, 115, 1 to 119 range, that's where you're going to about break even. Everything above that is profit, and everything below that is going to be a loss. The ones that are below 100 are really not worth anything at all. The ones that are in the 90s, you can sell for about 1 divine each. Those actually move quite quickly, but everything above that, it scales pretty much exponentially from that point. And so that's the basic premise of this. Now I will just kind of go over the results with you guys here. Again, I did do a pretty large sample here. The first set I did was 12 sets or 12 Adorned jewels, for which I spent 70 divines. And my final result from that was 192 divines worth of Adorned. And these actually sold in like 25 minutes, every single one of them, which is why I wanted to try it again, because I was surprised at how liquid they were. That meant that the net profit there was 122 divines, or the multiple was, we got 2.74 times our principal back. And again, it turned around almost instantly. In that case, I didn't have any extreme outliers. I believe my highest roll was 145% or something like that. And then with the second round, which is the one that I meant to record for you guys here, and for some reason it did not do so. I had 40 assembled sets, which I then took apart, and I broke down into sets of 10. As you can see here, this is 109 to the teens. Right here are the ones that are in the 120s, the 130s, 140s, etc. And these are the ones that were below. So I'll just go through the results with you quickly here and show you guys what we got. In effect, this might actually be more useful for some of you, because I know the dragging on nature of some of my videos can bother some people. But with the 40 that we got 51, 92, 82, 64, 92, 99, 73, 99, 50. This is a perfectly bad one. So 50 to 150. So a perfect roll, but on the opposite side. 95, 76, 92, 95, 91, 91, 71, 91, 63, 58, 66, 94. So these are ones that I did not account for in the actual profitability. That being said, the ones that are in their 90s will sell for one div, maybe even two divs quite quickly. As you can see there, I did just actually sell one from the previous 12 95%er for one div. That's probably the third or fourth one of those that's happened. Now getting into the ones that have some value to them. And again, from the thing that did not record, I actually did this all on there. So that'd probably be a little bit easier to digest anyways. So starting from the bottom, 109% is 3 divines, 110, 3 divines, 110, 3 divines, 111, 4 divines, 115, 5 divines. Moving on, we got 120%. 120%, which was 8 divines, 121, 8 divines, 122, 8 divines, 123, we got 2 of those, which are 9 divines each, 124 times 2, 10 divines each. Then we got 127, which was 11 divines, 128, which is 13. Moving up to the 130s, we got the 130%, which was 16 divs, another 130%, which was 16 divs. And oops, sorry about that. We then got a 137%er, which was 23 divines. Moving up to the 140s, we got 141, which was 43 divines. And I'm really kind of annoyed that this wasn't on video, because it was pretty cool. But we got a perfect one. Yay! So a perfect 150%. For clipping purposes, it actually would have been really sweet, because you see how we got this 50%er right here? It actually was like this. So I hit the 150%, was all jacked up, was shouting and pumping my fists as I usually do, because I have no emotional control. And then the very next one that we assembled was another perfect one, but perfectly bad. So it's a 1 in 101 to get obviously a perfect roll. So 101 times 101, the likelihood of that happening back to back like that would be what? 101 times 1 in 10,200. Anyways, I thought that was kind of cool. With respect to the value of that, it is currently sitting at 225 divines. I've actually sold a couple of these over the past week or so, upwards of 270 divs. It kind of depends on the market, how many are available at any given time. I suspect that they'll probably go up later on in the league when more jewels become available, and given the amount of extraneous currency people have, and just the general hyperinflation really that's occurring in all currency markets, things like this I think will have a good potential for late stage growth. But yeah, so adding all of these up, again, our final result was 438 divines of expected revenue on a cost of 220 divs, for a net profit of 218 and a profit multiple of basically exactly double, but 1.99 x. And that means over the 52 sets that we assembled, we spent 290 divs, with our outcome being 630 divines, and our net profit on that being 340 divs, or 2.36x. And this took only an hour to do. So the only time constraint was how quickly you're able to buy the pieces. This is obviously not a massive sample size, but if you break it down into the ways I mentioned, you can kind of get a range. So, for example, we see that 9 divs moving up to 10 divs would be right around the 125%, right? So if we know that it's 50 to 150, that if you break that into quarters, that would mean that like 50 to 75 is worth nothing. 75 to 100 is worth about a div. 100 to 125, you're talking about basically a break even there. And then 125 to 150. You can do the math. I'm not going to do it in my head here, write it down. I think you understand the premise of it. So, when factoring in the cost benefit, make sure you take a look at the market if you're planning on doing this. And do understand that depending on how many people end up seeing this video, or people that come across this idea of their own volition, these things are subject to change. As it sits currently, though, it's definitely something that is favorable towards the person who assembles it. It is kind of a pain in the ass buying the pieces, though, not that fun. One of the cool things as well, just as a sort of a wrapping up point here, the 150%, I do have a very cool jewel, abyssal jewel, that I'm planning on making for it at some point. This is actually one mod away of being a perfect implicit combo to even be mirror crafted. So you can see here we've got the 5% increased attack and cast speed with Onslaught, 5% crit multi with bows. The attack and cast speed with Onslaught, by the way, is so rare as a synth mod. And then our third implicit here is the fizz damage with wands. That's the one that we would like to re-roll. We would, in all likelihood, we would make that 4% global crit multi. Another option would be 3% increased attack speed with bows. But again, crit multi is probably what we go for there. And then we would divine this. The explicits are both tier 1. So you get the 40 life, and if you wanted to keep the wither, it's actually the rarest suffix you can have, which is why I have it on there right now. You could keep that with a 150% adorned. It would go to -5. However, if you were trying to like min-max DPS on a TS build like this or a lightning arrow build, kind of commiserate with the other items I've been crafting, in all likelihood, we would make that either 8% increased attack speed if you've crit recently, or 12% crit multi. But in summation, though, that would mean that after those mods were put on, we would then use Hinakora's Lock and a Vol Orb Hover until we got the Vol implicit to replace the item cells for much more to vendors, the Gilded Fossil. And we could either get 2% RMR, or you can get 5% damage, or you could get 8% crit chance. Now, what that would give in totality, you'd have 4% multi, which would go to 10%, 5% multi with bows, which would go to 12%, 5% attack and cast speed, which would go to 12% attack, 12% cast speed. If you had 2% RMR, it would go to 5% RMR, 40 flat life would go to 100 flat life, 12% crit multi would go to 30 crit multi. That means with one jewel, you would have 52% crit multi, 12% attack speed, 12% cast speed, 5% RMR, and 100 flat life, which would just be, right? Imagine putting that into a one pass of voices. That would be 7 points spent, and you would be getting 150 multi, 300 flat life, 36% attack speed, 15% RMR. Just absolutely mind-blowing numbers. So that's probably something that we'll take a look into later on in the league. But I just wanted to put out a quick video here. Gambling videos I know are not really up my alley. I kind of think they're sort of low effort content. But I do think that there is a significant market opportunity here for these Adorns. And this is actually this is the first time I've hit a 150%, but I have been buying and reselling them throughout the course of past couple of weeks. So that's actually the third 150% I have on me right now. So I think I can take my foot off the gas a little bit there. And for those of you who see this video and are interested, maybe something to take a look at. Another thing that's kind of a cool landmark, just to keep everyone in the loop. I finally paid off all of the debts that were made. Some people loaned me currency to finish the first 3 mirror items I have here: the number 1 Ellie bow, number 1 Ellie quiver, and number 1 Ellie ring. all 3 of which are done now, and all of the debts are repaid. So from this point onwards, myself and my team will be able to take the profits. So, it's not like I'm struggling financially, but up until this point, all the currency I've been making has been going towards these. So, the amount that's been coming in, which has been roughly, I'd say, on a bad day, I'm making about 5 mirrors. On a good day, maybe 10. And that's going to definitely be a lot more noticeable now. So I'm going to be putting out a couple more videos probably this weekend. I think you guys voted on the community section on my YouTube here. And you said you guys wanted to see a video on how I was making 2 to 3 mirrors every day in 2 divines of gear. That was what I did to fund the initial mirror crafts for probably about 10 to 15 mirrors worth of it. So I might make that video today as well. If you guys are interested in this kind of stuff, or if you have any suggestions or even any kind of questions, leave a comment down below and let me know. There have been some people asking me questions on Twitch chat that are things that to me are just kind of obvious, but obviously that's like a logical fallacy. But simple things like, how to list items that are equipped. How does a mirror service work? Little things like that I take for granted that people might not know. And I know for people watching on YouTube, I tend to be a lot less vocal. But please, give me some feedback. And even if it's not a topic I want to cover independently in its own video, a lot of the time when I'm crafting, there's like dead air where I can just kind of muse and talk about different topics. And a lot of the questions people ask on Twitch are things that I can just answer very briefly in passing because they're not too complex of subject matter. So in any case, thanks for watching, guys, and let me know what your thoughts are, things you want to hear. And if you enjoy this kind of stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be trying to stay with some regular content here and hit 20,000 subs within the year. I started this YouTube channel really at January of this year. In fact, I actually kind of started posting videos here because of my TFT ban. The first month I started posting videos, I got 9,000 subscribers, which was obviously a pretty big motivator. We're on 11 months in, 10 and a half months in now, about 17,000 subs, and I'm going to try to do my best to put out some good stuff here and try and hit that 20K for the 1 year anniversary, so to speak. So if you enjoy it, go ahead and help me get there, and appreciate that. And otherwise, I'll see you guys soon, and I hope you guys are having a great weekend. Peace.